Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. And double honors to the elders and bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the beloved prophets and bishops and brothers continue to exhort the sheep in these last days. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect listening in. To the 12 tribes scattered abroad, shalom, shalom. This is a lamb back video off of, I assume, is Elder Apostle Ramlab. Salakia, if I have not named the appropriate apostle to this video, Salakia, please forgive me. But something prompted me in the spirit to be reactionary to what I heard in the spirit, as the whole camp within is supposed to stone those that go astray and to warn the flock of those that lie in the mist, looking to devour our sheep of the flock that the Most High Yahweh Yahweh Shai is gathering together. And in the midst of the congregation of Yasharallah, we will have false prophets and false teachers set up alongside of those that have been anointed with the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodash. And we are supposed to push back and fight against the forces of the wiles of the enemy to help the discerning sheep that are just coming into the faith, the understanding, to be forewarned of these things. And ultimately, the Most High Yahweh Yahweh Shai will guide the flock to the shepherd that hear that voice. So this is a lamb back video to Apostle Ramlab, entitled "Woe to the Idle Shepherd who has, I believe, settled on his lees," right? And this is a severe judgment. This will be a severe judgment when you do those things. If you are found guilty and doing these things, you will be harshly judged for it. And this is what we'll go into. So let's start with Jeremiah chapter 23. Jeremiah chapter 23. And we'll grab verses 1 to 3, and it reads, "Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture." Woe means destruction. Woe comes with a plethora of judgments. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep, right? So if the intended purposes of the Most High Yahweh power in the end times is to regather his flock, and there is an opposing force that has been preordained to play that role ultimately, and scattering the sheep, ultimately judgment will have to ensue because of this judgment. So woe be unto that pastor, right? And this is for all of the sheep to look eyes up now, because all words in the scriptures must be fulfilled. And if we're given the example in real-time scenario, to witness his word come to life, as he has set examples of those pastors that are leading his flock astray, to be locked into the spirit, the Ruach HaKodash, to be mindful that this is his ultimate will, not to be complacent and in your feelings, in your carnal flesh, wanting to somehow change the course of the river. But this is judgment from on high. Yeah? Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 2. "Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power of Yasharallah, against the pastors that feed my people, you have scattered my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith Yahweh power." These are the shepherds and pastors and false prophets that look to fill their bellies with all the world's the most desirable things, and drive in the most beautiful chariots, and put on a glimmer of someone that is harboring that light, that pure light, but ultimately scatter the flock astray. And this is a stark warning for the shock to be very mindful and to record in your mind's eye of the will of the Most High Yahweh power as he performed these things, because there is going to be a very severe judgment for leading the Lord's flock away. right? This is a manifestation of his power going to be enacted. Let's go into the mighty book of Malachi. Malachi chapter 2, reading verses 1 to 3. And it reads, "And now, O ye priests, O ye prophets, O you shepherds, O you teachers, O you bishops, O you deacons. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you." Maybe something like this needs to be revisited to bring those that are being carried away to come back. This is a warning for those that may have ulterior motives as well, because this is a severe consequences that will be placed upon our people first and foremost, because he says in 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High Yahweh power." This is the 12 tribes of Israel, northern and southern kingdom. He will visit them first, because he needs to judge us first in order to retrieve us out of said perils that will be placed upon the heathen. Yeah. So Malachi chapter 2 and verse 2, "If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart to give glory unto my name, saith Yahweh of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already." It has already been set in motion. Through the dispensation of time, his curses will ultimately be manifest in the earth to catch up with that vessel that has somehow thought that they would not be discovered. Their skirt is going to be lifted in front of the congregation, first and foremost, and then publicly seen throughout the earth. "I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already. Because you do not lay it to heart, you do not reverence the Most High Yahweh power. You have forgotten the fear of the Most High Yahweh power. You forgot his strong arm. You forgot the wrath and the judgments that are in that cup now. Remember, we do not want to piss him off at all. We're going to segue into Deuteronomy, because it has stated in Malachi chapter 2 of the curses that are placed upon the priest first and foremost, because it's your solemn duty to lead the sheep from the wolves, right? And we have wolves in our midst. We have those that are contrary to salvation. Contrary to salvation. They are set up to be a stumbling block unto the sheep. It's all predestined lot anyway. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 15. Sorry, brain fart. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 15. It reads, these are the chapter of curses and blessings unto the house of Israel. Either you hear them or you forsake them, they will still come to pass. He preferred that you cleave to life and not gobble down death and receive these curses, as to where the priest and those that lead the sheep astray will receive the curses, and they're written right here. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. This is what his sovereign word declares. They will overtake you because of you leading the sheep astray, which is the principal thing of the lot of a priest, is to gather the flock, to teach the flock, feed the flock, protect the flock, warn the flock, teach the flock what to watch and to be mindful for. These false shepherds and false prophets and false teachers and false bishops and false deacons, they're ultimately going to be filleted. That is a light term for what he will ultimately do. We're going to jump into Leviticus chapter 26. Leviticus chapter 26. And we'll start at verse 16. It says, I also, Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 16, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague, meaning fever, some sort of fever. We can't say it's going to be a summer cold. This is something different. This is something that's anguishing, that shall consume the eyes. Your eyes will now be darkened again, as to where they were once enlightened, given that light to see and to hear. Now he's going to cover you back up. You're going to be in utter darkness. That shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. Everything that you do will come to naught. You will not prosper financially. You will not prosper in the ways of the Most High Yahweh power. And your seeds will not prosper as well. Your children. You have cursed your children as well. That seed line is going to be cut off. Right? Verse 17 of Leviticus chapter 26, and it says, I will set my face against you, and I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. And if you will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. That's a manifold flood of terror and anguish and sickness and heartache, and you will be utterly destroyed because of this that you have done. You know, I can't say one sin is lighter than the next, but what I can say for sure is when you lead the sheep, the Lord's sheep astray, nope. Deuteronomy chapter 29. We segue there just to reinforce that curse that's going to be placed on the priest for leading the Lord's sheep astray. Woe to the idol shepherds. The wolves are in the mists. The wolves are in the shadows, lurking to devour the Lord's sheep. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 29. Don't know how we jumped all the way back there. Deuteronomy chapter 29. There's judgment on the horizon. This was my blessed lesson that I put out this morning. This here, the Most High Yahweh power put it in my heart to put this together. Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 29, reading verses 18 to 20. And it reads, Lest there should be among you a man or a woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from Yahweh our power to go and serve the gods of these nations, which they are publicly publishing on social platforms to go and worship other deities. The brothers and the apostles and the bishops of GMS are talking about this, and it's at the forefront of the ministry in light, because there's going to be a consequence for it, and to edify the flock, that all things will be made manifest for the transgression of going another way and teaching of another God, right? This is a stoning to those individuals on our behalf. The Most High will fill in the blanks on the rest of it. Lest there should be among you a woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from the Most High Yahweh power to go and serve the gods of these nations, lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood. This is poison. They're poisoning your spirit with this folly. And it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of mine heart, to add drunkenness to thirst. This is those who go astray and say, Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, or whoever they're telling you to call on, is going to overlook my mistakes and continue to bless me no matter what, because I'm trying to do the best that I can. No, there is one way. It's the straight way. It's the narrow path. And you cannot just take off one crown of understanding and put on a defiled crown and still call it good and worthy. This is not going to be left out of the cup of dreads. You're going to have to drink it entirely, sip by sip and gulp by gulp. And it shall come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of mine heart, to add drunkenness to thirst. And Yahweh will not spare him. It says in verse 20, Yahweh will not spare him, but then the anger of Yahweh and his jealousy shall smoke against that man, and all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him, and Yahweh shall blot out his name from under heaven. You're not going to be given a life raft. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 18, that's what they have done. That's what they have done. They have become liars and ravenous wolves and thieves and murderers. This is what they do. They shed the innocent blood of the Lord's flock. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, has declared judgment, and he's going to enact it. He said terror. He said terror. This is what he said. This is what he said. John 10. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. John 10, verses 1 and 2. It says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. Those priests and deacons and bishops and elders and all these other men of renown in the earth, they are considered thieves and robbers, the ones that lead the Lord's shepherds astray. They're ravenous wolves. They are the seed of the wicked. They're abominable. Them and their seeds. They are considered thieves and robbers. And thieves, by the law, are going to have their part in the lake that burneth with fire. Maximum fire. Let's go to Malachi. Malachi chapter 3. Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 and 9. It says, Will a man, Salakia, rob the Most High Yahweh our power? Will a man rob the Most High Yahweh our power? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, Wherein have we robbed you? In tithes and in offerings. It is your solemn duty to exercise judgment and mercy and wisdom and lead the flock to the shepherd. Ultimately, the Most High Yahweh our power. But we have false prophets and false teachers and false shepherds that are in the way. They're set there for the ultimate process of sifting, but the curses will still land on those priests and prophets. Verse 9, he says, You are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. The whole nation has become a den of wolves, northern and southern kingdom. There's false prophets and false teachers set up on both sides, right? He calls us thieves and liars and murderers and robbers. He calls us thieves. That's not a good thing to be called, right? Thieves. Let's go to Amos. Let's go to Amos. Amos chapter 3. This whole nation has robbed him, right? We just read that. Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. Hear this word that Yahweh hath spoken unto you, O children of Yasharallah, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Mitzrayim, or Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity. I will punish the whole nation of Yasharallah, the northern and southern kingdom, for all of your iniquity. You have stolen from him. You have went astray and fornicated with other deities. These false shepherds are leading you to death. It is being recorded and published right in front of you. There is wolves in the midst. Woe to the idol shepherd. Woe to that idol shepherd, right? Let's go to Matthew. Those thieves. We're talking about those thieves. Let's go to Matthew chapter 27. He is greatly to be feared. I promise you. Oh my goodness. Matthew 27, verse 34. Matthew 27, verse 34. This is when they were crucifying our Messiah, right? Our shepherd. They gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall, right? They gave him poison. They were giving him poison to drink. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. He didn't want to drink none of their philosophies. He said, no, I'm not saying that. You can't make me say that. I'm going to stand on business. This was our Messiah, right? Verse 35, and they crucified him and parted his garments. They stripped him, the head of our church. They parted his garments and casting lots, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet. They have parted my garments among them, and upon my vestures did they cast lots. Our whole nation was scattered to the four corners. They had cast lots for his people. They stripped our Messiah of his garments, those holy and royal garments, their priesthood, right? And sitting down, they watched him there and set up over his head accusations written, this is Yahushai, the Malak of the Yehudim. Verse 38. Then were there two thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand and one on the left. This is the whole house of Israel, those two thieves. Will you rob God of tithes and offering? Will you not do judgment? Like King David? Like all the other mighty men? Those two thieves, the one on his right hand side, repented, identified, and was preserved at 1/3. The 2/3, the left hand side, those thieves. Yeah? Judgment, severe judgment for the wolves that are in the midst. Right? You're not going to get out of it. Let's go to Hosea. Hosea chapter 7. Excuse me. Hosea chapter 7. When I would have healed Israel, then the iniquity of Ephraim was discovered, and the wickedness of Samaria. And they committed falsehood, and the thief cameth in, and the troop of robbers spoiled without. And they consider not in their hearts that I remember all their wickedness. Now their own doings have beset them about. They are before my face, because we are in the land of our captivity, as it is this day. Under the curses, under subjection, under these vile and profane nations, these heathen nations. It is because of our own priests and shepherds and bishops that allowed them to come in and stomp us out. It is because of these false shepherds and false prophets our children are slaughtered in the street. It is these false prophets that help the wicked to destroy our nation, to rob us and keep us subjugated, working day in and day out, where we will never see the prosperity ever, because they continue to help the heathens. Let's go to John. Let's go to John chapter 8. You know, very rudiment precepts, very nice and easy, light. to eat and get the message across. It doesn't have to be so complex. Just give them strong rebuke, like the brother Amawar Gabar says. Rebuke them sharply. John chapter 8, verse 44. They might say, oh, why are you saying that? Why are you picking on them? You know, everybody goes through troubles. No, they're leaving our people to condemnation, no salvation, leading them astray. That's a severe consequences. John chapter 8 and verse 44. You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. These are also these false shepherds and false prophets. Because there is no truth in him, no light, they lead the people into darkness. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it. Right? We're going to close out with 2 John. 2 John, verse 9 to 11. Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Hamashiach Yahushai, hath not Yahweh. He that abideth in the doctrine of Hamashiach Yahushai, he has both the Father and the Son. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not in unto your own house. Neither bid him or the other one, Godspeed. Don't say Shalom. Don't say Barakatha. This is what he says. Verse 11. For he that biddeth him Godspeed is a partaker of his evil deeds. You are now in union and in yoke with those that continue to spoil the water and make them bitter for the sheep to drink and receive that living water, to bring them back to life, to stand boldly and proclaim the names of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. So I pray that this is edifying unto the elect. And with that, Kwam Yasha Allah and Abba Baba. Shalom.